I'm going to look at a little bit of a review for quadratic equations so that we can move on into the new material for 135. So just as a quick review, quadratic equations we could solve, we could factor and use zero product property. We could always just do plus or minus square root. There was complete the square and quadratic formula. I'm going to just do a quick review on quadratic formula. So the number that's the coefficient of x squared, that's our a. Our b is the one that's a coefficient of x, and then c is the plane number. So we'll just plug this in, opposite of b, so it would be 8 plus or minus square root of b squared. So negative 8 squared is 64 minus 4 times a times c, all over 2 times a. Okay, so then that would be x is equal to 8 plus or minus the square root of, it would be 64, and then that'll end up being plus 56, because 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 7 is 56. So let's see, 64 plus 56, that's 120, and that'd be all over 4. And then the square root of 120, that would be, we could do 4 times 30. Yeah, I think that's as much as it's going to simplify. So then this would be x is equal to 8 plus or minus square root of 4 is 2, square root of 30, we can't simplify that anymore. And then that's all over 4. And then I'll just simplify, everything's even, so I'll divide everything by 2. So it would be 4 plus or minus square root of 30 all over 2, and that is done. Okay, if the number under the square root is negative, it had been negative, we would have had complex solutions. So we can look at the number under the square root, that's the discriminant, and then it'll just tell us how many real solutions compared to how many complex, or if there are complex solutions. So let's look at just the discriminant. So a is 1 in this problem, b is negative 2, and c is negative 1. So the discriminant is b squared, so negative 2 squared minus 4 times a times c. So this would give us 4 plus 4, 4, and so that's 8. And us having a positive real number there tells us that the number of solutions in this original equation, there's going to be 2 distinct real solutions. If this had been a negative 8, we would have known that we would have had complex solutions. And if it had been 0, then back in our quadratic equation, x equals negative b plus or minus square root of the discriminant. So if that discriminant was 0, then you would only have 1 real solution, because you're not adding a number and you're not subtracting a number. Your answer is just negative b over 2a. So that discriminant is helpful if we want to look at number of solutions, and that's going to be useful as we go into more of our graphing. Those solutions are the x-intercepts, so just kind of nice to know with that discriminant. All right, so let's do some examples here. I just have 2 terms, and so I have an x squared term and a number, so I can just do a positive and negative square root, isolate my x squared, and then I can take the square root of both sides. Just remember to do positive and negative square root. So x is equal to positive or negative square root of negative 1/3, and I can just take the square root of each of those separate. So it would be x is equal to positive or negative I should rationalize that, I root 3 over 3. And we could have plugged that into the quadratic equation as well. That would have been fine. If we were doing that, we would have had a equals 3. There's no x term, and so b would be 0 and c would be 1. And you would get the same thing in the quadratic formula. Okay, moving on. Here we do have 3 terms, so I'm going to use quadratic formula. A is 1, b is negative 6, and c is 10. So x is equal to the opposite of b, so 6 plus or minus square root of b squared. Negative 6 squared is 36, minus 4 times a times c, which is 10. all over 2 times a. So we have x is equal to 6 plus or minus. Let's see, 36 minus 40, that would be negative 4 all over 2. And so x is equal to 6 plus or minus 2i all over 2. So we have x is equal to 3 plus or minus, we have to divide that by the 2i by 2 as well. So just dividing each of those by 2, we get 3 plus or minus I. All right, one more of these. So I've got a is equal to 1. Well, b is equal to a half. If we don't really feel like dealing with decimals in there, what we could do is just make our problem a tiny bit easier. Let's just multiply both sides by whatever it takes to get rid of the fraction there. In this case, it's times 2. So I'm going to clear fractions, 2x squared plus x plus 2, distributing my 2. And my right-hand side is still equal to 0. And then this will just make it a little easier. So a is 2, b is 1, and c is 2. Okay, so using quadratic formula, x equals the opposite of b, so negative 1 plus or minus square root of 4, oops, I have to do b squared. Let's see, b is 1, so 1 squared is 1, minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is 2, all over 2 times a. Okay, so x is equal to negative 1 plus or minus square root of 1 minus, let's see, 4 times 2 is 8, times another 2 is 16. 1 minus 16 is negative 15, all over 4. So x is equal to negative 1 plus or minus I root 15, all over 4. Okay, so now the directions did also say put this into a plus bi form. So x is equal to the set of 0 plus or minus I root 3 over 3. And then this one would be x is equal to the set of negative 1 fourth. You can just separate those so that the real component and the complex component are separate. I root 15 over 4. Okay, so now we're going to get into fourth root equations and using substitution. We did this a little bit in Math 103, so I'm going to just do one where we have fractional exponents and show, just hopefully you'll remember this. So if we set this up where u is equal to x to the 1/4, we let u be the set equal to the middle variable. Okay, so then if I squared both sides there, that would give me that u squared is equal to x to the 1/4 squared. When you have a power to a power, you get to multiply. So you'd have that u squared is equal to 2x to the 2/4, which is just x to the 1/2. So these are going to be the things that we substitute in. Anytime I meet x to the 1/4, in goes my u. Anytime I meet at x to the 1/2, in goes my u squared. Okay, so using substitution, I get, let's see, u to the x to the 1/2, so that would be u squared minus 3u minus 4 equals 0. Now let's just see, maybe I could factor. I think I can. This is nice. So u plus 1, u minus 4 equals 0. Using zero product property, that would give me that u equals positive 4 or u equals negative 1. Now I need to plug x back in. So instead of u, now I go to what is u worth, right? It's here, it's x to the 1/4. So I'm replacing u with x to the 1/4. So x to the 1/4 is equal to negative 1. And now I'm just going to take both sides to the 4th power. And we're going to solve for x. So we've got x to the 1/4 equals 4. And we'll take both of those to the 4th power. X equals 256. Okay, and then the other one, x to the 1/4 equals negative 1. So taking both of those to the 4th power, we get x equals positive 1. And now we do need to check Okay, I'm going to do 1 first because it's easier. So 1 to the 1/2 is just square root of 1 is 1. Minus 3 times the x to the 1/4, that's still just 1. Minus 4. And that does not equal 0. 1 minus 3 minus 4, that's negative 6. So that one, nope. Okay, and now let's just do our other one. Let's see. Square root of 256, that is 16. Minus 3 times the 4th root of 256, that's 4. Minus 4. 16 minus 12 minus 4, that does work. So I've got one solution there. So on these, notice that we need to solve twice because the first time we're solving for our substitution and then the next time we're solving for x. Okay, let's try another one. This time we've got x to the 4th power. So our substitution is going to be a little bit different. Let me give myself a little bit of space here. Okay, so I'm going to let u equal x squared. So then u squared would be x to the 4th. Okay, substituting in, we've got u squared minus 8u plus 8. Okay, now this doesn't end up factoring. So I got to use quadratic formula. Okay, here we go. A equals 1, b equals negative 8, and c equals 8. Okay, now remember we're in u, so u equals opposite of b, so that would be 8 plus or minus square root of b squared, so that's 64, negative 8 squared is 64, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 8, all over 2 times a, which is 1. So u is equal to 8 plus or minus, let's see, 64 minus 32, that would be 32, all over 2, and then square root of 32, that's 16 times 2. Okay. Good. All right, so we're going to plug that in for that square root of 32. So then we would get u is equal to 8 plus or minus 4 square root of 2 all over 2. And then we can divide everything by 2 here. So we get u is equal to 4 plus or minus 2 root 2. Now, as tempting as it is to say we're done, we're not. We need to solve for x. Okay, so we're not quite done. We need to plug this in here and solve for x. Okay, so since u equals x squared, so then I'm going to put what u is worth, which is 4 plus or minus 2 root 2. So that goes in for u. So it's 4 plus or minus 2 root 2. That's equal to x squared. Okay, and then we're going to take the square root of both sides. Remembering to take positive or negative square root. Okay, so that gives me that x is equal to the positive or negative square root of 4 plus or minus 2 root, oops, I forgot a little 2. And now I finally solved for x, so I'm actually done. Okay, moving on, let's do this last one. So we have x to the 4th minus 6x squared plus 7 equals 0. So I'm going to use substitution. So let's let x squared equal u. So then x to the 4th would be u squared. Okay, so we can plug those in. So I have x to the 4th, so that's u squared, minus 6x squared, so that would be minus 6u, plus 7 equals 0. All right, now I think on this one we can probably factor. So we've got u, let's do plus 7, u minus 1. No, that's not going to factor. All right, well, it's always worth a try, right? Okay, so that didn't work. So we'll use quadratic formula. Okay, a is the coefficient of the squared term, so a is 1, b is -6, and c is 7. All right, so plugging those in using quadratic formula, we have u is equal to, let's see, opposite of b, so it's a +6 plus or minus square root of b squared, so that's -6 squared is 36, minus 4 times a times c, so minus 4 times 1 times 7, all over 2 times a, so 2 times 1. And then simplifying a little bit, we've got 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 28, that is 8, all over 2. Square root of 8, that simplifies down because 8 is 4 times 2, so that would simplify to 2 root 2. So I'll plug that in here. So then that gives me u is equal to 6 plus 2 root 2 all over 2, and then that can simplify to 3 plus the square root of 2. Oh, plus or minus, so I don't want to forget that. Okay, so that's what u is. So now we're going to plug that back in. And u is x squared, so now we need to solve for x. Okay, so x squared is equal to u. X squared is equal to u, and u was 3 plus or minus square root of 2. All right, so then we take the square root of both sides, and we get positive or minus square root of 3 plus or minus square root of 2. So on these, just take it one step at a time. First, do your substitution, then use the quadratic formula, and then just make sure to, at the end, to go back in and solve for x. Okay, so we could have, when we write all these out, we could have the positive square root of 3 plus root 2. We could have the positive square root of 3 minus root 2. We could have the negative square root of 3 minus root 2, or x is the negative square root of 3 plus root 2. So that's actually 4 different possible solutions, which makes sense because this is a power of 4, so there should be 4 solutions there.